People come to the Dead Sea for many reasons. They want to swim or float in the extremely salty water. That is quite the experience. Cover themselves in mud and all sorts of things, walk up the valleys. But for me, the main reason to come to this section of the Dead Sea is because of this location, Qumran, the home to an Essene community before the time of Christ. Home also in these hills to 12 caves that have now been discovered that had scrolls there dating back and taking the history of the Old Testament authenticity back several thousand years before the earliest scrolls that we used to have. And those scrolls, when you look at them, particularly the Isaiah scroll, and they found at least parts of every book of the Old Testament apart from the book of Esther, and when you compare those scrolls with those of more modern times, you find that they are copied exactly the same. There are so few errors, it's incredible.
Okay, there are differences in the main Isaiah scroll, some 2,600 differences to the Masoretic text, which is what our Old Testament is called in Hebrew. Yet most of these are minor. A change of tense, a longer spelling of a word. In a few places a verse is shortened or there are scribal corrections. But the fact that we can jump back 1,000 years earlier than the previous texts talks to me not just about the value of these scrolls, but also the value of the book itself. We have 100 times as many copies of the scriptures compared to classical Greek and Roman authors. And the differences? According to Father Justin, chief librarian at St. Catherine's Monastery across the Red Sea at the base of Mount Sinai, each difference equally adds to our understanding.
And that talks to me not only about the care that the scribes took because they're copying very holy books, but also that God looked after them, and that the stories that are recounted there are stories I can trust. We may look at memorials as we go around Israel, and the churches and the synagogues and everything tells the history of the Bible and reminds us of the events of the Bible. But it's also great here in Qumran to know that the record that was written down, that record is equally accurate and helps me depend on those scriptures as the living word of God, words that can change my life still today.